Wow. All we can say is wow. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Detroit Lions post-game show. I'm Dannie Rogers, joined by none other than Lomas Brown, LB. Wow.
I know.
What can you say about that final minute that unfolded before us?
It was awesome. Really, almost the whole fourth quarter was awesome, Danny. I know we were up in the radio booth. We were kind of mellow tone in the second and third quarters. But the fourth quarter, it was something to behold. And it was exciting. These fans got hyped. I got hyped. Everybody was hyped. So it was a great game.
Yeah, Detroit down 8, a fumble recovery, puts Jared Goff in a pressure situation with just over a minute to go, and he almost delivers. What did you see out of Goff making his debut in that moment?
I mean, he got comfortable. He really did. I don't know, early in the game, it probably was jitters. You know, adrenaline was pumping. I thought Jared was rushing the ball out of his hands, trying to get rid of it. But he settled down in that game. They gave him some plays that he seemed to be comfortable with, and he actually started taking shots downfield. And I think that helped the offense a lot too. And those receivers, they made some big plays, some big catches for him. So it was a great effort, I thought, for the Lions, especially over that fourth quarter.
Sure thing. We'll get to a lot of the Detroit Lions headlines coming into this game. We'll, of course, take you through the press conferences. You'll hear from head coach Dan Campbell, quarterback Jared Goff, along with some other players, and we'll check in on where and who the NFC North is playing right now. But Lomas, I mean, it was a lull. You did mention it. A lot of fans walked out of this building,
Yes.
and with that final minute, the entire place was echoing Detroit Lions.
Oh.
How?
I mean,
Can they be excited about? Can they be excited about
I
this?
mean, you know, and we don't like the moral victory. That's an ugly
Correct.
word in the locker room.
Dan Campbell does not like that word either.
Exactly. It is an ugly word. And the players, I know they're going to feel it's an ugly word, but they have something to build upon. And that's what you want to do, especially when you were down 41-17. It just seems so bleak. But those guys really, they hung in there. They made a comeback. And like I say, now you got something positive to take into next week. Even though we didn't get the victory today, again, you got something positive to look forward to next week.
I think you do, and I'm wondering what head coach Dan Campbell was saying to his team right after that game clock ended. Okay, let's see the final results, the stats from this game. I mean, here you go. Final score, 41-33. San Francisco barely inching out Detroit in that run game.
Yes.
Lomas, what did you see out of Detroit's run game?
Man, I loved it. I really did.
Okay.
I thought Deandre Swift, I thought Jamal Williams, that was a great 1-2 punch. I thought the big fellas up front, they did what they had to do. We know going into the game, San Francisco has one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. For them to hold up as well as they did, for them to create running lanes for the running backs, you know, I'm proud of those guys up front, especially all the shuffling that we had to do with Taylor Decker being out today.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the head coach, Dan Campbell's press conference.
Early against a very good team, and you know, everything that we said we needed to do to win this game, we really didn't do. We were better in the second half. We gave ourselves a chance, but it wasn't good enough.
Dan, I'm sure you like the way your guys fought the end, but getting into that 28-point hole, what was the biggest culprit in your mind?
Yeah, look, it was twofold. Well, you know, offense, you know, we go for it on fourth and we don't get it. And I'm not going to second guess that. I wanted to be aggressive. I wanted to try to find a way to get 7 on the board instead of 3. And, you know, and defense goes out there, gets a stop, you know, turnover. First one out. As we talked about turnovers. Okay, well, now we have a chance to capitalize. We get in a, you know, second long. We throw a screen. The timing's not good. We get blasted. You know, we lose yards. Now we're out of field goal range. You know, we make it a longer field goal. We kick. We miss. And so now we just squandered 2 opportunities on offense, you know, and when we could have capitalized on what the defense did for us, you know. And then on the flip side of the defense, we don't get our first stop till the third quarter. I mean, really, now we did get the turnover, but they scored on every possession after that. And so now, you know, you feel like you're trying to stay true to who you are offensively, but now you get forced in kind of a world that you're not in. We had, you know, tackles for losses in our run game. We're not capitalizing on third down. I think we're 27%. It's not good enough. And then 2 for 5 on fourth certainly isn't good enough. So it was truly a team effort. It was truly a team effort. And it just got out of hand early, you know. And you throw the ball 57 times, that's not our game, man. You know, we're not going to win a lot of those games. Now, we had a chance. We gave ourselves a chance, but we got to eliminate all the little stuff. There's going to be so much stuff to clean up on that tape.
What do you think of Jared Goff's debut, the good and the bad there, especially with the pick six?
Yeah, look, I mean, that was one we all wish he'd have had back. I'm sure he does too, you know, and he kind of hung on Hawkinson too long, and it bit us in the ass. But all in all, look, when you put 57 passes on a guy, relative to the way the game was going, he gave us a chance to come back. I'll say that. And I do believe all the way to the end, man, he gave us a chance at the end of the game. And you'd like to believe if we could keep ourselves out of that situation, your odds of winning are even better.
You mentioned the aggressiveness. Maybe you can just speak to your philosophy when it comes to that and some of the fourth down attempts, I guess, why that's important.
Well, I felt like we needed to do that this game. You know, I think every game has its own challenges and its own unique, you know, floor plan, if you will. And I just felt like it was important to try to create some momentum, if you will. And I knew that 3 wasn't going to be good enough to beat this team. And so how do you get 7? The best way to do that is give some 4 downs to your offense and, you know, and go for it on 4th down. So I don't second guess those. I don't. I wanted to try to be aggressive but smart at the same time, and, you know, we came up short.
Coach, can you speak on Deandre Swift a little bit? I know you guys started with Jamal tonight. He was coming off his injury a little bit, but talk about why started with Jamal and just what did you think about Swift's overall performance and working his way into the game?
Yeah, I would say, well, first of all, Jamal has been the rock because he's been there every day, and he's been steady, he's been sound. We know exactly what he is. He's been very durable and dependable, and that showed again today. He was exactly who we knew he would be, and there's value in that. Swift hasn't practiced a ton. Now, we got him back, and you could see what he can do when you get him back, but there was things that Swift was able to do. You know, that screen that he took to the house was something special. But it's clear that he's missing practice. He was rusty. There was little things to his game that he can be and will be so much better now that he's got this game under his belt. He'll just get a little better and a little better and a little better. So, look, I'm encouraged with that.
Dan, can you speak to Jeff Okuda? His game we saw on the TV copy. Aubrey was, in his face a little bit after the touchdown. He allowed the Debo touchdown, and obviously had the injury as well. Can you speak to Jeff's game?
Yeah, and I'll be on Kyle, you know, until I really watched the tape. I mean, look, I know the long one we all saw. I mean, we got the pressure that we wanted on Garoppolo. The ball gets fluttered up in the air, you know, a long one, and, you know, Jeff just didn't get his eyes around. And, you know, they made a play on the ball, and then it hurt. You know, it hurt us. You know, it was just, I would say for Jeff, it was an up and down game. You know, he flashes on a few plays. You're like, whoa, okay, there he is. And the next thing you know, it's something happens, you know, that's, you know, and I don't want to make excuses, but at the same time, he's in year 2, you know, and he made some young errors is what he did. Yeah, we're checking him out now. We know, obviously, it's somewhere around the ankle. Could be Achilles. We'll know a lot more this afternoon, hopefully, or tomorrow morning.
Did you reflect on your first game as head coach here? Your thought process going into it, when it came down to the big finish at the end and all that?
Yeah, I just look. I kind of what I told Dave. I wanted to try to be aggressive, but not to a fault. To try to give ourselves some momentum. You know, I knew we had to be able to stop them in the run game. That's what they do really well, and everything is built off of it. And we didn't do that early enough. And once again, we just didn't capitalize offensively. You know, when we had our opportunities, you go for it on 4th, you got to make them count. You know, and if you're willing to do that, then your defense has got to come on back on the field and get a stop. And when you dig yourself in a 31-10 hole at halftime, you know, and you feel like you're built on run and play action pass and some of those things, it makes it difficult. Now, it is a credit to our guys, man. They fought, And they got themselves back into it. And ultimately, my message to them was, I told them, I said, I don't know what's going to happen this game. You could end up being up big, you could be down big. But if you'll just play each play, I told you guys earlier in the week, I told them, this game is never over till the very end. And just keep playing it for what it is. As bad as it can be, or even as good as it can be, the game is not over till it's over. So just play the situation and the down as it comes, and don't worry about the rest of the stuff.
You kind of hit on it. You kind of hit on it there, building off the ground game. I mean, that's something that's been obviously your offensive line running was something you guys wanted to build around. Do you see, I guess, the fruits of that labor through the offseason in this game, and do you feel like that's something you can continue to build the offense around at this one?
I do. I do feel that way. I feel like that's a positive. I like our offensive line, and I think they can move people. I think our backs can run it, and now we've got to find a way to get some – we need to create some explosive plays in the pass game. Doesn't mean you're throwing it downfield every play, but we got to find a way to get better at pushing the ball down the field, because we can't live that way, you know. And we're about to face an opponent who's going to force us to score some points now, and so we got to find a way to get it downfield a little bit.
Today's assignment wasn't easy today. What do you make of the way that the rookie stepped up, slides across after trying to teach him a whole position for the last few months?
Are you talking about Sewell? Yeah, look, I thought that it was probably towards the end of the second quarter, and we'd gone into this game plan wanting to take care of our tackles. Even when Decker was playing, we wanted to take care of both of them, just to be smart. Game one, and we were going to be very mindful of him. And it was late in the second, and I remember I was going to say something on the headset, like, this kid's playing pretty good. Like, I feel like he's holding his own. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to jinx him. So, but I felt like from afar, he really did. I mean, he was, you know, when you don't even think twice about him at a certain point, and you're thinking about everything else, that's a good sign.
Can you explain that well, Joe? Just why you went with him at left tackle? I know you said you're still debating it the other day. Why was that?
Yeah, I think ultimately we felt like we knew that matchup would be Bosa over there, who is, we all know the type of player he is. We just felt like athletically he was the best matchup for him, knowing he would get a dose of him. And he is. He's powerful. He's big. He's explosive. I'm talking about Sewell. And he's played some left tackle in college. I mean, that's what he had done. And I know he embraced it. Like, he was really excited to go back to left. So it just felt like the right move. And from that standpoint, we felt like he performed pretty well.
And then before Bob Benson, just on the field, because they were checking the back to see what the doctors were. Are you fearing worst case here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I know that they checked that out. They said that could be a possibility, but we don't know for sure, so I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with it.
Well, Joe, last when you walk out of the building today, your first game as a head coach, how do you view this? Do you look at what went so wrong getting behind, or what went well at the end? What do you take out of this?
Here's what I will ultimately take out of it is, number one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we did, no matter what happened in this game, that we continued to play and just give yourself a chance at the end of the game. And we did do that. Now, you don't picture it being that, or you're going to throw it 57 times, but ultimately our guys, they did play till the end. They didn't throw their palms up, and they didn't start sulking, and they just went back to work and found a way to get back into this game. Defense played better in the second half. Offense, we found a way to score some touchdowns. And, you know, special teams did their job. We got an onside kick, and we gave ourselves a chance. But, man, our margin for error is so small. We have to play the game a certain way. It's just the way we are and the way we're built. And we cannot, you know, we don't have the luxury of making some of the mistakes we made and being able to win, you know. And so we got to clean that up, and we will clean it up.
All right, guys, we'll have Jared Goff in here.
All right.
We will build a winning and inspired culture to serve the best football product to this great city of Detroit so we can compete for championships on a consistent basis.
That's why I'm here. I wanted this job bad because I felt like I knew this community. I played here. I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people. This community is strong. I think this is special because I know this, when we bring a winner to this city, it's going to be something we can all be proud of.
Quarterback Jared Goff giving this team a chance to win. Like you just heard from head coach Dan Campbell say, Goff 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. You said he kind of lulled out in second and third quarters, came alive in the fourth quarter. But to start out this game in that first quarter, just the debut of Jared Goff, what did you see?
Yeah, again, and you know, first game, new environment, new offense, just everything's different for him. I just thought he was a little rushed early in the game. I thought this adrenaline got the best of him early in the game. But like a true pro, he settled down, and he was that calming effect. And you could really, really see it over the last half of the game where he was making throws. I thought the fourth quarter, all the throws he made were great throws where either the receiver was going to get the ball or no one was going to get the ball. And that's all you could ask for the quarterback. I thought he handled well when he had to pull it down and run with the ball. So I was very impressed with Jared Goff over the second half. And like I say, first game of the season, you're going to have these jitters. And that's why I thought he went through early in the game.
What do you think was going through his mind as he was transitioning from that first half to the second half, knowing his team was down and they were going to have to make up a lot of room?
Well, for Jared, I know that probably thinking that this is not how I want to have my debut. I don't want to have my debut where we're losing the game the way we were losing it. We hadn't stretched the ball downfield none in the first half. They were more dink and dunk passes. But again, the second half, he was looking to get the ball downfield. He was taking the shots when he had to take it. And I think the rest of the offense, they fed off that, especially during the run game. Those guys up front, everybody did what they had to do and were in position to make this thing successful. And man, we just came up a little short today.
Right, yeah. I mean, seeing what Goff was able to do here in this game, do you think that this team is solidified? Okay, this is our leader. He is going to be able to go in and get it done. They didn't come out with as winners out of this, but he was able to go in there and do it what coaches want him to do.
Absolutely, and that's what you want. That's what you want from the quarterback position. You want your quarterback to be the guy that when you're looking in that huddle and you look in his eyes, you want him to look confident because he's going to portray that confidence to you. And I thought he did that very well. And again, I thought the guys around him, the skill position guys, they stepped up their game too to help Jared out. So yes, they have to know unquestionably that he is their leader, and I think he is.
I think you're right. All right, let's go to Jared Goff, the quarterback, was at the he was at the podium. Let's hear from him.
You guys have fun today? You guys have fun today?
Yeah, I think you find out a lot about who you are. You know, there's going to be a lot of games this year that are going our way and games that aren't going our way. And this one certainly was not early on. And I think you find out who you are as a team. And I think we found out a little bit about some guys today, which is a good thing. With that being said, we can't put ourselves in that position. We can't go down that much early and expect to have a high percentage of victory very often. And you know, specifically to myself, can't throw a pick on 2-minute drill, specifically a pick six, and give them that momentum, give them all that right before the half. So love to have that one back, but I was proud of the way the guys fought.
On the final play of the game, the fourth down throw didn't seem to have a target in the area. What did you see there? Would you have preferred to maybe at least put it in a spot where somebody had a shot at it?
Yeah, I was trying to get something up. St. Brown told me he thought I was scrambling, so he was ad-libbing a little bit, and I was just trying to get something up there. Yeah.
You mentioned finding out about some guys and yourselves and everything. The receivers at the end, Tyrell was out there.
Yeah.
What did you find out about some of those young receivers?
Yeah, we got some scrappy guys and some guys that will fight, and that'll fight for each other, and will fight for me, and will fight for the ball. And it's good to see. I think a lot of those plays that you see a guy like Sept is making. I know Khalif had the ball down the field. St. Brown had the play. Trinity to show up on Monday and make the plays he was making all day. It's pretty impressive. You know, and I know the best thing about them is that they're sitting in there right now critiquing themselves, which is good. So a lot to build on for them for sure. Yeah, I was trying to get something in there to TJ. Unfortunately, the ball didn't come out the way I wanted it to with what we had going on, and yeah, just one I'd like to have back. Yeah, certainly wasn't throwing it over there.
He's trying to emerge in that way as well. He's trying to be one of the best tight ends in the league as well. Can we talk about that chemistry with him as well today?
Yeah, TJ did a great job. It's a chemistry that I've spoken about that we've been building, I think, ever since I first got here, that me and him have been working together, and there was a lot of things today that showed up that are from all that work and from that chemistry that you're talking about. And I think, specifically the touchdown, just being a player there and kind of adjusting his route to make it work. It was good, and we made it work.
You guys need to make some more explosive plays in the passing game. Early on, what were the biggest reasons that those explosive plays downfield weren't there?
I think you can easily take the excuse of their defense is pretty damn good up front and can get home and can get to the passer pretty good, but at the same time, that's a lot of teams in this league. It's going to be either every week or every other week that we play. So we got to create them. We got to find ways to get down the field. We got to find ways to get guys open, and I got to find ways to deliver the ball to them.
What were your impressions of how Sewell played?
Thought he played great.
It did seem like you guys were able to establish the run a little bit, have
Yeah.
balance in the first half. I mean, are you encouraged, other than the deficit, encouraged by some of the stuff that happened early in the game?
Yeah, sure. I think you're encouraged by a lot of individual plays. I think a lot of the run game is stuff that you're encouraged by. The stuff that needs to be cleaned up is kind of as the flow of the game goes, being able to continue that and stay consistent. There's a lot of individual plays, like you speak of. A lot of those runs were really good, and our running backs are damn good, and our O-line is damn good. So we can lean on that and rely on that. But it's the consistency of that. It starts in practice, and it's every play throughout the game.
The sample size is obviously small, but 2 fourth down attempts early in the game.
Yeah.
As the quarterback for this franchise, I mean, how much does that excite you to know that your coach is willing to take that?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. He's an aggressive guy, and I don't think I even flinched at coming off the field on a few of those, and kind of expected it to happen, and we love doing it.
The way you personally finished the game after kind of a rough start, does that give you better feeling, obviously, going forward, the way you finished off?
Personally, I think I kind of spoke on it earlier. Like it's good to know who we are, and hopefully the team knows who I am, and can we can draw from that a little bit. But at the same time, we shouldn't put ourselves in that position. We shouldn't have to show who we are, and in that sense, we should hopefully be making it a game the whole game, and making plays throughout the game.
These statistics indicated, especially for the first 3 quarters, that an awful lot of targets to your running back, your tight end. Was that game plan, or were they taking options away?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Obviously, we want to get those guys involved. We do want to get the ball in Swift and Jamal and TJ's hands. And so, yeah, probably a little bit of both. There was some of that was design, and then some of it was just the way that they were rushing the passer, the way they were covered downfield, and they were open.
Jared, I'm curious about your message to fans. I mean, a lot of them are still rooting for you guys. 38-10, you find Deandre, and they're going crazy. Any message to them right now?
Yeah, man, we appreciate the people that were here and that stuck around and made it loud for us there at the end. We know we need to give you guys something to cheer about a little earlier on in the game, and we intend to. But it makes us feel that energy, and we do feel the momentum when we can get that stadium rocking late in games, even when it's not going our way.
A couple more guys.
Sorry?
What did you think about starting off with Jamal and kind of working Swift into the offense a little later? What did you think about starting off with him?
I felt fine about it. Yeah, I think they both do a great job, and both have home run ability. You saw Swift on the screen. You saw Jamal on a lot of those runs get up the middle there, and they're a good complement.
How much are you still feeling out? I mean, Swift missed some time. You lost Tyrell today.
Yeah.
Sewell switched sides. You just got Trinity in. Like, how much are you still feeling out what you have around you right now?
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that, especially, I mean, Trinity's the easy one, right? He got here, 6 days ago. So there is a little bit of that, but at the same time, it's, we're playing on the field on Sundays. It's time to make plays. So, there's no excuse for anything that happens in the game. But I guess to answer your question, it will be nice to have, some time on task with a lot of these guys, and be able to, put some stuff on the field in practice, and then be able to apply that to the game will be nice, no doubt.
All right, yes, sir.
It's great. It was really good. Again, I think you find out who we are, and it's not a moral victory, and it's not something that we're necessarily proud of, but it is something that is good to know. And you know, it's not going to be the last time that we're down in a game. It's not going to be the last time we have to come back. And on the flip side, we're going to be up in some games where we have to stay the course and know that each play is its own individual play. But yeah, it's encouraging to know who we are. But at the same time, we have a lot of stuff to get fixed, and I'm excited to get it fixed starting tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Jared Goff gave this team a chance to win, and so did the swaggy and Swifty duo of the running backs, Deandre Swift, Jamal Williams. I cannot take credit for that. That was all Jamal Williams. But at the half, head coach Kyle Shanahan said his run defense needs to step it up, because that's the one thing that's going to get Detroit back in this game. What did you see from that 1-2 punch of Swift and Williams?
It was great. It really was. It's just that change of pace, Danny. I mean, you got a guy like Jamal Williams that hits it up in between the tackles. Then you got a guy like Deandre Swift that can get on the outside. And it's hard for defenses when you have the 1-2 punch like these guys have. I thought both of them ran hard. I thought both of them took advantage of their opportunities when they were able to get the ball, especially catching the ball. That's what really, really impressed me. These guys catching the ball out the backfield and really getting yardage with it. So I'm very happy about how those guys look. I'm looking forward to seeing them going ahead the rest of this season and seeing what kind of production we can get out of the running back position.
Williams and Swift really setting up this run game to be successful. And yeah, you just mentioned it. The receiving yards, Williams, a very balanced attack on the ground and in receiving, 56 receiving yards, 54 rushing. And then Deandre Swift, 39 on the ground, 65 receiving yards. I mean, Jared Goff threw more to his running backs than he did his receivers. Are we worried? Is that okay?
You know, we want to see the receivers catch more. I think the stat that I heard was like 16 out of the 31 completions were to the backs. So you want to see him get the ball downfield more. But hey, if it works, it could keep that defense kind of off balance. So hopefully we'll be able to get more explosive plays out of the wide receivers, and hopefully Jared will target them more. But, man, those were kind of like his security blankets today, throwing it to Jamal Williams and throwing it to Deandre Swift today.
Jamal Williams getting his first touchdown in the Detroit Lions jersey, and he never really skipped a beat in terms of energy the entire time. I mean, Williams coming from Green Bay, every single time he made a good play, was bringing the energy, was bringing the juice. How much does this team need a guy like that?
Danny coming out the tunnel for introductions, he was bringing the juice. I'm like, man, I love it, man. And you have to have a guy like, I call him a hype guy. You have to have your hype guy on the team. And yes, I think it's very important, especially think about this situation, the Lions being down big the way they were. And again, you got a guy like that can kind of get you juiced up, goes and gets first downs, runs the ball hard. You know, 2 or 3 guys have to bring him down and tackling him. It does something for your psyche. So I think those 2 guys, especially Jamal, I really think that's kind of helped the offense get this rhythm going, and those guys took advantage of it. So yes, we got our hype guy out there.
Swift and Williams, yeah, really complimented each other today. And then you also finally got to see the Jared Goff TJ Hawkinson connection. We were all looking forward to it. Of course, Hawkinson was out most of preseason with an injury. He looked great out there. How did you think he looked?
Oh, I thought he looked great. And the thing that impressed me so much, they lined him up tight to the line of scrimmage. They lined him up in the slot. They lined him up out wide. I mean, they moved him around so much, and that's so good because, again, your defense just can't focus in on where he is, and it's hard. It puts the defense in matchup situations where you could get a small guy on TJ, and he's going to take advantage of that. And, of course, when you throw the ball to him, you know he's a guy that's going to catch the ball, and he can get those all-important those yards after the catch. So he, again, I just can't underestimate how important TJ Hawkinson is to this offense, but how important he is to a guy like Jared Goff. A quarterback wants to have his security blanket, and I think he has a great one in number 88.
Hawkinson targeted 10 times, came up with 8 receptions. I mean, how much can he's coming off a Pro Bowl season. What does TJ Hawkinson need to do to even elevate his game further?
I mean, the thing I see is probably, blocking a little bit more. You hadn't seen a lot of that out of TJ, but I thought the times that he did have an opportunity to lay some wood on the guy, he did. I mean, so I like it. I would like to see a little bit more of that, but I mean, the guy's all pro. I think the biggest thing for him is when they start double teaming him and really paying attention to him, how is he going to fare then? How is he going to get his catches? How is he going to keep the productivity going from the tight end position? But we got a great one. We got a great one in TJ.
Well, you just mentioned it. When TJ, if he starts getting double teamed, where does that open up on the offense?
So, Danny, the wide receivers are going to have to win. They just are. If they start double teaming him, you're going to get some one-on-one matchups with the receivers, and they have to be able to win their one-on-one matchup. So that's what I'm going to look for. Who's going to step out? Is it going to be Quintez Cephas? Is it going to be Terrell Williams? Who's it going to be, the wide receiver that Jared Goff feels great about trying to get the ball to him when they have that one-on-one matchup?
Someone who did win their matchup. We're going back to the running back game. Deandre Swift. He has our play of the game. It's sort of in the third quarter, really electrified this game, and it got everyone on their feet, and it kind of injected some momentum. We didn't think it was going to inject the momentum it did
right.
with 1 minute left in this game. But Deandre Swift coming up with a big touchdown, 75 yards in total. Check it out. Goff makes the connection to Swift.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Just a great screenplay. It was a screenplay. The San Francisco 49ers were blitzing on that play, so it was a great play to run against them. And you could just see DeAndre getting ready to set up that last guy. The last guy that he had to get past, you could just see him measuring the guy up. He stuck his foot in the ground.
Yep.
You had that little wiggle to him, and the next thing was the end zone. So I love, again, when we could get the ball in their hands because you give them the whole field to play with. And he got a little wiggle like that little fella, like the little number 20 I used to block for. Not just a little bit. Just
Is he standing behind us right now?
Yeah, just a little bit fella. He's back there.
Yeah, Barry Sanders might be standing behind us right now that he's referring to. Yeah, that a great play. 7 plays, 70 yards total in that one. Time of possession was 3:31, and that cut the deficit from 38 to 17. We thought, yeah, there's still a lot to go. Like I keep saying, wow, we did not know that it was going to end with just an 8-point deficit here from Ford Field going up against the 49ers, which is just such a great test.
Yes.
What do you think is the mindset of DeAndre Swift coming out of this game?
Well, again, he didn't play. I thought him and Jamal played about the same amount of time. I expect the workload to be a little bit more with DeAndre. I think Jamal got the majority of the workload, but he has to feel confident moving ahead about what this offense can do and what he can do in this offense. Again, we need those explosive plays, and if we could get them out with them throwing it to the backs without having to throw it downfield, that's almost like an added plus till we get our receivers where we need them to be at. So, Danny, if I look at this whole thing, I think they got a lot to build upon. I'm glad the way we finished this game because you have to have some positive plays, even though you lost the game and even though we know the moral victory is an ugly
moral
word.
victories.
Right, just such an ugly word. I spit that moral victory out. But again, we needed that, especially from how we came down to get this game close. So I'll take it. Hopefully we could build upon that and use it for next week.
Well, let's hear from DeAndre Swift himself. The running back steps up to the podium.
We did some good things, but just wasn't enough. We just can't play from behind like that. Just got to finish better, come out stronger, and better get off to a better start. I really didn't do much. Jonah did a great job of doing making the kick-out block on the linebacker. I didn't really do much, just get vertical and make one man miss, and thanks to Jonah.
Coach was saying that there was a little bit of rust still to your game with some of the time you missed. How much do you feel up to full speed?
I feel good, especially getting back out there and getting the reps that I did have today. Just felt good getting back in the groove of things.
What more can you guys do offensively early on to make sure that you don't fall into a big deficit like that?
No penalties. We want every drive to end in a kick. preferably a field goal. We just got to start better. Can't play from behind.
What was the mood as you guys were coming down that final drive? I mean, it was such an unlikely comeback. And, can you talk about the first time you're with all these new guys and you're on the verge of really improbable win? What was the emotion?
Somebody had to make a play, and we were saying that every time we would get back in the huddle, let's make a play, let's make a play. We knew what was at stake. We knew what had to be done. We just didn't get it done. But looking to them guys' eyes that was out there in the huddle, nobody had no fear or anything like that. Somebody was going to make a play. We just came up short.
I know you're not watching Sewell intently necessarily, but just your impressions of him playing left tackle for the first time here and just how he walked.
He did a great job. Had a big task against number 97, which is a great play on the other side of the ball. So he had a great task, and he did a great job, especially moving. And in the short notice, having to move to the other side. So I think he did a great job today.
Deandre, when we talked to you to open up camp, you talked about the difference in how much fun the game is right now with this coaching staff and this new group. We watched you guys fall behind a lot last year, and the fight necessarily late wasn't necessarily there. Is there a different vibe? Was there a different vibe in that huddle this year than maybe last year for you?
No, I wouldn't say that. We just knew what was at stake today. We was going to fight to the end. That was the message at halftime, just fight. The game wasn't over at all. We had a whole nother half to play. So we just came up short. Got to do better.
You were the subject, not really to today, but of some internet reports earlier this week. Can you address those about what's going on in Philadelphia right now?
I'm not here to comment on any internet rumors.
Are you under investigation by the police for anything, though? I guess I should ask that directly.
No, sir. Not to my knowledge, no.
Anything else, guys? Just Jamal. I mean, again, I know you talked a little bit about the running game, but especially the lift that he gave you earlier.
Yeah. Jamal did a great job starting out early, getting us going. He's going to bring that energy no matter what the score is. He did a great job out there today. We did a great job complimenting each other today. So real proud of what he did and what he brought to the team today.
As you guys kind of go in and out of the game, do you see that crossing up to defense in any way?
It could be a problem for the defense for sure, especially long drives like that. When Jamal started off, he breaking runs, breaking tackles, and I come in and try to do the same thing. It could definitely be some troublesome for the defense.
There seemed to be a number of runs for both of you that were just right up the gut. I mean, there was some big holder, which wasn't what it was last year. There was a lot of running into the line trying to go outside. What's responsible for that?
Frank Ragnow, Panay Shaw, Jonah Jackson, Big V, and Matt Nelson. They do a great job up front. Like I said, we can't play from behind, but I think we could have did some more things in the run game if we didn't. Circumstances would have been a little bit different. But I'm real confident in the team with the run.
So obviously, you're game playing with Jared Goff. Just what did you see from him, especially down the stretch there?
Confidence, amazing, natural born leader, type of guy you love playing next to. Like I said, in times like that, I like to look in guys' eyes and see.
We will build a winning and inspired culture to serve the best football product to this great city of Detroit so we can compete for championships on a consistent basis.
That's why I'm here. I wanted this job bad because I felt like I knew this community. I played here. I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people. This community is strong. I think this is special because I know this, when we bring a winner to this city, it's going to be something we can all be proud of.
Someone who helped open the holes for the run game. Left tackle rookie Panay Sewell, who wasn't supposed to be the left tackle. He had been practicing at right tackle this entire preseason and training camp. However, with left tackle Taylor Decker going down with a finger injury, he had surgery yesterday. The rookie stepped up, How did he do in his NFL debut?
So impressed with him. I mean, going up against Nick Bosa, all pro, all everything, defensive end. I mean, I thought he did very well. He had good sets all game long. He was composed all game long. And he did a nice job, especially as much as we had to throw the ball in the second half. So I was really impressed with him. His run blocking was good, too. So he might cause a few well, no, I'm not going to even say that, Danny. But I was very, very impressed with that young man. Hopefully we could get Taylor Decker back, healthy. But I thought Penei Sewell did a nice job. And I also thought that Matt Nelson on the right side taking Penei Sewell's place over there at right tackle. I thought he did a very good job today, too. So very impressed with the offensive line. They did what they had to do today to try to help us get this victory.
Penei Sewell, he had a lot to digest coming into his NFL season, not playing last season at Oregon because of COVID. So there were a lot of question marks. Would he be able to handle this season opener? And he goes in, he does it. It shouldn't be that big of a surprise at left tackle because that's what he played at Oregon. So how can he continue to build off of his versatility and being more than just one-dimensional?
That's a great point. And you want linemen especially to be versatile because we know injuries are a part of this game. And if you have linemen that can play different positions on your offensive line, it just strengthens your offense and your offensive line. I thought their chemistry was very good too. And that's hard to get with the offensive line. That's something that you strive to get during training camp. And he was able, like I say, to fill in on the left side of the line, do a good job of protecting Jared Goff's blind side. So, look, the sky's the limit for that young man. And hopefully he can just keep building upon that. And, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, Big V. See, I call him Big V. I don't mess with that name. But Big V and those guys, they did a good job. They should have something to build off of for next week going up against Green Bay.
They sure do. Okay, let's hear from Penei Sewell himself. He's at the podium.
Really felt comfortable out there. I left. There was no other choice. I was going to play it come game time, so I had to be ready.
What was your reaction to facing off against both of them from their defensive ends?
To be honest, not that much. If I focus on that, it would get to my head again. Can't let the name on the back of that jersey be me. So going in, I got to just focus on just kind of look at him as another person and go from there.
I know you want to wait and watch the tape, obviously, but maybe just coming off, what you think of your performance without watching the tape yet?
It was all right. I got to get better on a couple of things. My hands were out of whack. Pad level came too high on a couple. So I got to go back to the drawing board and get better for next week.
So was the NFL what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. The atmosphere was awesome. Fans were loud. Wish they stayed a little longer, but it's all good.
How different is that speed versus the preseason, which is maybe even another level than college?
Oh yeah, it's different. You can see it. You can see the star players having one more step on the others that I've faced through in the preseason. So you got to really lock in on cadence, to get off the ball, set yourself in the perfect position to be successful on the block.
You saw you run right off the field and find your loved ones, and the big embraces. And we talk so much about the matchups and taking over this position. On a personal level, what did today mean to you and your family?
It was big to be the first one in my family to be in the NFL, to be able to have this platform too, and to really represent my name well for them. And I think that they feel the same thing through me, and that especially my dad, it was his dream too. So just kind of him living through his past dream through me, basically. So to be able to be in that position, man, it's a dream come true. And to see that smile on his face and to see him all hyped up, man, I'd give up anything just for that.
Did they give you that? Did they give you that?
Right here? Yeah, they gave me this lei. Moms did, so.
What was the message that she said when she gave it to you?
Mom's real simple. She just says, I love you, and no matter what happens, I love you, so.
It's been asked to a couple of the other guys that came through here, but the huddle, through that comeback stretch at the end of the game, how would you characterize, I guess, the vibe in the huddle?
Straight business. Everybody knew the situation. Nobody needed really a pep talk to make a play. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they need to do, so they just go out there and execute it.
Teams get down 28 points, and a lot of times, you see guys quit. We've seen that here. You weren't here, but we've seen that here with this franchise before. What does it say about this team, this roster, that you guys did keep fighting even facing what seems like an insurmountable deficit?
Yeah, man, I'd shout out all to the head coach, to the leaders on this team. Man, it's a different vibe, and the culture is still being built, still being stacked upon on. So we just got to go out there, follow them, and execute. Just like you said, the game is never finished until the clock hits 0. And we're going to keep fighting to the end and keep punching.
Posta got you once or twice, and it's going to happen, right? Nobody wins every snap, but I think everyone knows you played pretty well overall. So when you look back at what you did against a really good player on the other end, what sort of confidence does that give you about what your future is and how you can play?
Well, to me, I got to win every rep. So just when you said that, that kind of triggered in my head, I got to win. Just not only for myself, but for the team, so we can get that dub at the end, so we can have that smile. But, yeah, just got to stack the confidence, really, going into Green Bay, and I feel good. So.
Are you a guy that talks out there, or do you stay pretty quiet?
Depends on the situation, I feel like. Talking does kind of, I guess, take up some stamina, and I need all I can against a great group of guys out there, so it depends.
You didn't bring up the Oregon Ohio State score at any point?
Oh, in the locker room? Yeah, most definitely. You see the shoes. I had to rock it out, show Jonah, Jeff, Taylor, everybody in Ohio State, you know what I mean, so.
Great, thanks guys.
Appreciate it. Really felt comfortable out there. I left.
The rookie stepping up to the podium in style. Lomas, we have talked so much about this offense. The defense, yes, they did let 41-point score.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on this defense and how they came out today?
The defense, wait, you see that little fella, come here for a minute.
Are we going to have someone?
Man. Yeah, come here, man. No, I'm talking to B, man. Come here for a minute, man. Come on.
A special guest.
Yeah. Someone went.
Sorry,
hi, Mr. Sanders.
Yeah.
How you
nice
doing?
to meet you.
Did you see how
Danny?
Hey, Danny.
She hit
Very
you
nice
with the
to meet
Mr.
you.
Sanders. Did you hear the Mr. Sanders like
fine,
you getting
that's
up
fine,
there?
yeah, that's fine. I'm in that age bracket, you know. Mr. Sanders.
We're live right now. Can we get your thoughts on this game?
The game that just happened. Yeah.
That game, yes.
No, hey, look. It was an opener. Tough team. You know, the Niners, they came out ready. You know, we're a young team. Eventually we came around, had some good breaks. I think with that kind of effort, I think we can win some games. I mean, obviously you go back, look at the footage, see things you can do a little different. But, that Niners team had a lot of guys there that were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So this is a good sort of test for us.
The crowd, though, what were your thoughts on just how this Detroit fan base, I mean, some of them left, but the ones that stayed and got loud, what were your thoughts on that?
It was so nice to hear, and it was so nice that we, the team gave them something to cheer for. They really got into it when things started to turn in our favor. So I feel like that's one of those sounds that, just almost therapeutic. I mean, we've been needing to hear that and experience it.
My question to him: if I needed one play, can you give me a play? Can you give me a play? Can you give me one play if I needed it? One.
Oh, you mean suit it up, me?
Yeah, one. All I need is one play,
I thought you were
B.
saying, can I draw one up? But you mean, can I suit
man.
up for?
Yeah, can you give me one?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
No, if you need it, if you need it, yes, I'll give it to you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Good seeing you, Mr. Sanders.
You never know, live TV and LB just calling over his friends. I don't even know where we were at. We were talking about the defense.
Yes.
Your thoughts on what you saw from the defense?
Again, a lot of work. We need a lot of work on the defense. I just thought we need to press up on the receivers a little bit more in the secondary. When we have the opportunity to make tackles, we got to make sure we make those tackles. We have some mixed tackles in the game today. Overall, I thought the D-line did a nice job of controlling the line of scrimmage because that's a good offense. I mean, they're a physical offense. That's how Kyle Shanahan is building that offense over there. So not too worried about the front seven, but again, in the secondary and hopefully at the linebacker position, when we need to make tackles, we got to be able to get these guys to the ground.
There it is. A lot to build off here on the defensive front and offensive front. Yeah. Okay, let's check in around the league, NFC North, see where these teams are playing at. I mean, there's some shocking ones out there. Of course, you have Lions losing to San Fran 41-33. Ooh, the Bengals, Vikings.
Yes.
That went into overtime. Cincy getting a 3-point win. We couldn't watch that because we were here watching this thriller.
Yeah.
Of course, Green Bay and Saints, they just kicked off last time I heard. Packers down 17-0 here to the Saints. Wowzers.
Yes.
Reminder, we go on the road. Monday Night Football coming up in Green Bay next. And then Cincinnati, LA. Chicago, LA will play Sunday Night Football. So that'll be a one to look forward to. Matthew Stafford going up against those Bears. All right, that's around the league. NFC North, week 1. What a time.
Yes.
It's done. Week 1 is done.
Yes.
And what are your final
Finito.
thoughts walking away from this?
My final thoughts is that I thought this team would be a team that would fight to the end. You know, that's our head coach. That's that's how he is, his mojo. And they did. They fought to the bitter end. We were down early. So to me, it's a team that is never out the game. You got to go the full 60 minutes against the Detroit Lions because they're going to continue to bring it. And I'm so happy about that, Danny.
Man.
Yes.
And then just looking ahead really quickly to Green Bay, what's the first thing you think their minds go to when they think about going up against the Packers?
Well, the young guys, Monday Night Football.
Lambeau.
That's right. Lambeau, you know, brats, a little beer, you know. Oh, think about it. You know, the
Okay.
cheese
I'm thinking about it
will
now.
be there and everything. But what a great opportunity if you're a young player to play on Monday night. Everybody's going to be watching you, your friends, family. Everybody's going to be watching you on national TV. So it's a great opportunity to put your name out there in front of everybody. So hopefully these guys will look at it the same way, and maybe we could get a shocker. Let's try to shock the nation.
Yeah, Monday, September 20th, Lions at Packers. That's an 8:15 p.m. kickoff. Oh, it's going to be a good one. I just hope they bring the curds.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it. Maybe some brats. I'll do some brats as well. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in. We can't wait to do this all over again.
Absolutely.
Next week, week
Can't
2,
wait.
Green Bay. We'll see you guys then.